We're live, apparently. We're live right now. We are live. AFC North, Aaron Rodgers declines 2-year extension, top 10 revenues, and more. I think the title's good. The title looks good.
Sure.
What do you mean, sure?
It's good.
What do you mean, sure? Unfortunately, I do not have the mic today. I do not, which is unfortunate. But I hope it's not muffly like it was. I think we're good. We're just gonna wait for people to come in if people are going to come in.
Give them like 5 minutes and we'll start. We'll give you something to click on so you can skip ahead while the waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, or you can just edit it after live. I'm pretty sure you can just shortcut it. Can you not do that on laptop?
Sorry?
Can you not just edit it on a laptop?
I could edit it. But we have two speakers. I don't know. Yeah, I could edit it out.
Or just try it at the end.
Should I edit out or?
Yeah, if you can.
I think
like at the end though. You have to do it at the end.
You know, when I'm done, I'll edit it out. If I can, I think I can. Bless me. Jeez. So
COVID, man.
COVID. I got the corona. Totally. Yeah, that was my first. I've had. Yeah, no. Okay. I should probably just stop talking. So I know we're meant to start at 7, but we had technical difficulties. So we're just gonna wait for people to come in, and we'll start at like 7:05, maybe a bit earlier.
You know what we should have?
What?
So like it's not like soundboards or whatever. You like click a button and it makes a sound.
Sure.
But like so you have a big like panel and then you click one and it'll do like a sound or something. It's called a soundboard. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure you can record. You can record yourself like into a sound. So what we should do for every topic we do, we should have like some epic music and then like click that button and introduce the topic. So you don't think that'd be a good idea?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I'll show you
Later.
at some point.
Yeah. If you're watching this, let me do a poll question of the day. Not really every day. What's the question be for today? Will Aaron Rodgers remain a Packer?
My answer is no.
Sorry?
My answer is no.
Aaron Rodgers return as.
You're doing it again.
Sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I do it all the time. People hate me for it. People really.
So, I just don't get how you can do that. Like, it's just. I'll catch myself doing it and be like, stop.
You know, I can't do that. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's pretty funny. There's no NFL games on Fridays. Oh no, that's just preseason. I'm just looking at the games. I'm just looking at.
Pretty sure I don't know who the Pats are playing though. I'm pretty sure in preseason. I don't know who they're playing preseason.
They're playing like the NFC East.
Who?
NFC East. So like they're playing.
Oh, Miami near Buffalo.
No, Miami near NFC East. Did I say AFC?
Yeah, you said it. Oh, they're playing against the NFC East.
Well, not all of it since there are only 3. They're playing. So they're playing Washington, the Giants. They're playing Washington, New York Giants, and Eagles.
There's 4 preseason games.
No, it's 3 this year.
There it is. Excited to see Mac Jones
The poll is
play.
up. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. We'd love to see your answers, or not your answers, your questions. We'll answer them. Yeah, no, we'll answer them. If you put questions. Okay. Oh my god.
Should we just get started? Let's just get started.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get started. I think last time we did this, I went first. So do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right, guys. Welcome back. Episode 5.
Actually, wait. But before we start, we should tell them what we're doing, right?
Yes, we should.
So we're gonna start off with overrated, underrated for the AFC North. So that is Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. We will be talking about Cam Akers tearing his Achilles, and we'll talk about if Darrell Henderson is a good replacement or if they need someone else. We'll also be talking about Chandler Jones, or we'll also be talking about Chandler Jones. That's his name, right? Unless I'm just.
Yes, no, it's Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones reportedly asked for a trade. We'll be talking about that. Not trade destinations because it's not confirmed yet, but sources say, but it's not confirmed. So we're just going to be talking about if it's good for Arizona and what it does for Chandler Jones. We'll be talking about how Aaron Rodgers declined his 2-year extension, which would have made him the most paid quarterback in the NFL, which he declined. And we'll also be talking about why am I. Every time I do these, I blank. But we're doing oh god. We'll also talk about Deshaun Watson reportedly going to training camp. And I'm blanking. Why am I blanking?
Top 10 running backs and Cam Akers.
Top 10 running backs. I said Cam Akers. And Fred Warner. Fred Warner's a big deal.
Yeah, Fred Warner.
Man, when I do this, I blank. I think it'll be a pretty long episode.
I'll do the intro next time.
Sure.
Okay.
So back where we left off, you want to start?
I will. Overrated, underrated, AFC North. So we'll start off with Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I almost called them the Pittsburgh Penguins right there. Pittsburgh Steelers. Good season last season. Pretty sure they finished 12-4. Or was it 11-5? Might have been 11-5. But after they went on a little hot streak at the start of the season, kind of cooled down at the end. Pittsburgh, I'm going to go overrated, only because I think they had a very easy schedule at the start of the season, and I think that's why they really won. You prove, as they got towards the end of the season, they started playing like Kansas City, Buffalo, all the tough teams, and they couldn't do anything. They got absolutely destroyed, and they can only really pass, and I don't see them being a very good passing team this year. And I also think all they do is really run the ball. Opposite of that, they can't run the ball. They don't run the ball. As you saw, James Conner, they were 28th in running attempts last year, and that just says a lot. And I don't really think they're the hype that they were last year, and I think they're very overrated.
Well, they have Najee Harris, who I like, from Alabama, running back. Pittsburgh. Before I started, I told you that we're going to have some differences in this video because you went up overrated. I'm actually going to go underrated. I really believe the Pittsburgh Steelers are an underrated team. Why do I think they're underrated? I think they're underrated because everyone hates on them. Everyone's like, oh, they're
because they had the easiest schedule and then lost in the first round.
Okay, that's fine with me.
You had a great record. They had the easiest schedule.
Because everyone's that's fine with me. But what everyone hates on them. Everyone hates on them too much. I don't think they'll be a great team. Like they may not. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. But everyone's saying, "Oh, this team's going to be the 11th, 12th seed." Like no, they're not that bad. They're going to be the 9th, 8th, 10th, 8th seed. They're going to be in that range. They're not that bad of a team, okay? They're not that bad. Everyone hates on them. Underrated. I really. Obviously, they're going to do worse than last year.
It's just their defense. They can't run the ball. They don't have James Conner couldn't do it. Benny Snell's gone. They did draft a new running back in what's his name?
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris, I'm kind of hyped for that guy.
Exactly. That's why they're going to be a decent team this year.
No, they will not. They'll be the exact same. Ben Roethlisberger is not what he used to be, and I don't think he ever will be. He's going to go soon.
Well, yeah, but like, still, he's okay. Yeah, I think they're underrated. Like, everyone hates on them too much.
I think they're overrated.
Everyone hates on them. Everyone hates on them
too much. They're one of the most overrated teams in the league. They had the easiest schedule and then lost in the first round.
Everyone hates on
schedule. You had the easiest schedule, and then it proves that they were overrated because they couldn't beat any of the good teams.
Yeah,
as soon as they hit,
everyone's
they hit a brick wall.
Everyone's hating them. Everyone's hating them too much.
You know what? Just to settle this debate here.
Okay. Let's hear it. God.
You keep them entertained while I pull up their schedule.
Okay. Steve, like I said, they're underrated. Everyone hates on them too much. Mark my word, they will not be as bad as everyone says. Mark my word.
Wait, would it be their 2020 schedule? Yes.
2020, yeah. It may pull up 2019, 2020 season. You have their schedule?
Yes, okay.
Okay, let's go.
And exactly my point. Okay, look. Week 1, the New York Giants. New York Giants were garbage. They should have beat them. Week 2, Denver. Denver was garbage. Week 3, Houston. Houston was garbage. Week 4, they had a bye. Week 5, Philadelphia. Philadelphia was garbage. Week 6, Cleveland was not as good as they were in the playoffs, and I give them credit for picking it up. Week 7, Tennessee, I'll give them that. And week 8, they beat Baltimore, I'll give them that. But week 9, Dallas sucked. Week 10, Cincinnati sucked. Week 11, Jacksonville sucked. Week 12, they did beat Baltimore, I'll give them that. Then week 13, they lost to Washington. Then they lost to Buffalo. Then they lost to Cincinnati. Then they lost to Indianapolis. Then they lost to Cleveland. I'm telling you, they're a very overrated team. You look at, I'm pretty sure, out of their, all of them, I'd say they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'd say the over half of that season was easy games. They're playing as garbage teams.
Whatever you blah blah blah. But the thing is, yes, they had an easy schedule, but everyone hates on them too much. Everyone says they're going to be that 12th seed. No, they're not. They're going to be that 9th seed probably. I don't think they're as bad as they appear.
That's the last thing we're going to talk about Pittsburgh.
Yeah, honestly.
I just need to freaking gotta get you on my side here.
Next team. What team can we do next?
No. Pittsburgh. One sec. About Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. If you really think they're going to be that good? Buffalo, week 1, that's an L. Week 2, Las Vegas, probably an L again.
Well, no, they're winning that. No. Las Vegas is trash. Las Vegas is trash.
I think Las Vegas is probably pretty underrated, but. Okay, we'll say they win that one. We'll also say they win in Cincinnati. They lose week 4 against Green Bay. So they've already gone off to a 2-2 start, let's say. They're going to run to Seattle, Cleveland, LA, Baltimore, Tennessee, KC, and Cleveland again. And Baltimore again. It's not going to be pretty.
The schedule's way harder. All right, great.
Yes, okay. I'm done with talking about Pittsburgh.
Next team, do you want me to go?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. I want to talk about Baltimore. First off, we start off with Lamar Jackson, MVP year, then has a okay year, and then this year, It's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see how Rashad Bateman does. Hopefully he plays Rashad Bateman as much as he's meant to. And I think Rashad Bateman will perform. And then you have a guy like
Yes, we also signed Curtis Samuel.
Curtis, no.
Oh, no.
Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins, my bad. Sammy Watkins. They
They
need another wide receiver, though, in my opinion.
I think the Baltimore are just right, fairly rated, right in the middle. Because I've seen people overrate them and have them like top 3. No. But then I've seen people underrate them, saying they're going to suck because Lamar Jackson doesn't throw the ball. Like, I think they're fairly rated. I think they're in the middle. I think they're a perfect example for fairly rated. Maybe not perfect, but pretty good example. I just think they're fairly rated right in the middle. Not overrated, not underrated. There's people who say that they're going to suck and they're going to finish third in the division. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, the third in the division. No, you can't tell me that Pittsburgh, who we just talked about, and I said is underrated, is going to be ahead of Baltimore. No, I'm sorry. So Baltimore is fairly rated, but I think you could put a case for actually you could put a case for anything. Honestly, you could put a case for underrated or overrated here.
Baltimore. I think I'm honestly, in my opinion, they're also in the middle ground. I'd say they're fairly rated. I think they're a talented team. Made a little new additions. Another rumor about them going for Chandler Jones. That would just make them a better team, in my opinion. I'd say fairly rated. I think they have a really skilled team. A very good run game. They do full defense. And they do also have a really good defense, but I think Lamar Jackson's weapons aren't that great. And Sammy Watkins, Hollywood Brown, Marquise Hollywood Brown, and Miles Boykin.
What about Rashad Bateman, the guy who they just drafted? What about that guy?
Rashad Bateman. I thought about him. I didn't even think about him. But I think Sammy Watkins, and I think they'll have okay weapons. I don't think they'll be the best. I don't think Lamar Jackson doesn't have the greatest throwing potential in the league. I'd say a little bit on the weaker side of passing offense, but very good running game and does throw a lot of teams off guard. With a Lamar Jackson scramble, I'm going to go fairly rated for Baltimore.
You know, I'm happy we agree other than that last Pittsburgh one. Chandler Jones, we're going to talk about him later, but Chandler Jones would be a good addition to Baltimore.
Yeah, because they'd be a tough team to beat.
They lost Matthew Judon and they lost Campbell, if I'm not mistaken.
Judon signed with the Patriots.
Judon signed with the Patriots and Campbell, I believe, with the Raiders. So Chandler Jones would be there. I think he's better than both of them, so I think it would be a good replacement. But on to the next team. What team is next, Cody?
I'm going to go with Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns. In my opinion, a very underrated team. Very underrated. I think they have a lot of potential, a lot of talent. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, very good backfield. I think Baker Mayfield, a little underrated in my opinion. I think if he can get hot at the right time, they can win a lot of games, and I think they can do something special this year. I don't see them going – I can see them going past the first round. I don't see them getting past the second round, just like last season. But great defense, Myles Garrett, very good, very talented. Overall, a very underrated, very solid team. They have good wide receivers, and Odell Beckham Jr. reported that he will be coming back for this season. He should be healthy. And Jarvis Landry, and I just think Austin Hooper, and I just think they're a very solid team. I'm going to go underrated.
What do you think of the Browns? I think I like their defense. I really like their defense. Their secondary, I really like Denzel Ward. And I also like Myles Garrett. And then on the offense, you have Baker Mayfield, and then you have the amazing backfield with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And then you have an okay receiving core.
Yeah, I think Odell and Jarvis Landry are washed. They're getting on the older side.
I wouldn't say washed, but they are getting on the older side. And I think Baker Mayfield. I don't know. I agree. I think Baker Mayfield's underrated. I think people hate on him too much for being a first overall pick.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm gonna go fairly rated, but it was either fairly rated or overrated in my opinion. It was in between the two. I leaned a bit towards fairly rated, just a bit more. My case for being if they were overrated would be saying that they're like I've seen people have them make the playoffs and go really they're gonna make the playoffs, but I don't think they have the team yet to go really far. So
I can see them. I don't know. The only reason I don't think I see them going that far is because of Kansas City and Buffalo. I think those are the two teams that are going to be in that final round.
Yeah.
I mean, not Super Bowl, but conference championship.
The Browns. I was leaning. Obviously, I said I was leaning towards overrated. I went fairly rated because I think they'll win the division. Not with I don't think they'll win it with ease though, because I think that Baltimore team's decent and could contend, but I think
I think they can contend, but I think Cleveland will play 2 more games.
I agree. I think Cleveland gets it done. So I'm going to go fairly rated, but I was leaning towards overrated, but I went fairly rated. Yeah. You have anything else to say, or you want me to go to?
No, go ahead. Last team.
Cincinnati, also known as Cody's favorite team, other than the Pats.
Honestly, I like that. Yeah, I think they would
be. This guy loves the Bengals too much.
Joe Burrow.
Oh
man, I love Joe Burrow.
Honestly, I bet you'd go around in public and say the Cincinnati Bengals are a playoff team. That you would say that.
I probably could. Honestly, if they weren't in this division, I think they could make the playoffs.
See, guys, I'm right.
Who doesn't agree?
Cincinnati Bengals. You have Jamar Chase, which Jamar Chase is a very good wide receiver. One issue with Jamar Chase: where in what world will Joe Burrow get the ball off? When you're playing in that division, you're gonna have guys like maybe Chandler Jones, and if Chandler Jones is not there, you're gonna have T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, guys like that running at you. And for an O-line that bad, Burrow, they should have took Penei Sewell, in my opinion. My mock draft, I had them taking Penei Sewell, because that O-line is atrocious.
More alignment in later in the draft.
But still, you need that guy.
They can also sign some more O-linemen. I would do that for Cincinnati.
We'll see, but their O-line is currently still atrocious. So if Joe Burrow can get the ball off, I think Jamar Chase is good. I really like that receiving core. I like, obviously, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and T. Higgins, and then Rashad. What's that guy's name? Rashad Higgins too?
Tyler Boyd, man. Tyler Boyd.
Why am I forgetting about Tyler Boyd? Oh, yeah, I really like that receiving core. Don't think they needed to draft a wide receiver. I don't think that's their biggest need. I think their biggest need.
Well, they did lose AJ Green, and I don't think T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd could take that number 1 spot, and I think that's where Jamar Chase kind of slips in.
Yeah, but I still don't think that's your biggest need. Your biggest need is a defensive player and an O-lineman, and you decide to draft a wide receiver. But they didn't really do anything. They only got Trey Hendrickson and
Chandler Jones, man.
Chandler Jones is not going there.
I can see it.
And I'm just looking at something right
now. Super Bowl contention, Cincinnati all the way.
I'm just looking at something. Apparently they've not extended, signed free agent not Chuba. That's the Canadian. Sam Hubbard, who appeared in 13 games, contributed 62 tackles and 2 sacks to a 4-year, $40 million deal. We're not talking about that now because it came out late. Like, I just saw it now. We're not talking about that, but That's another help on the defensive end. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson. I'm going to go fairly rated for Cincinnati because I don't think anyone says they're going to do great. But I think they do slot into that 4th spot in that division. And no one disagrees. I'm going to go fairly rated.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Cincinnati.
Oh, no.
Obviously, they'll probably go 4th only because of that division. They could be in another. If they're in that, what's the Dallas one? Is that AFC West?
NFC East.
NFC East. If Cincinnati was in that division, I think they'd win it. Obviously, the other teams are not that good. Maybe Washington probably. Washington would probably win it, but I'd say Cincinnati probably second. Cincinnati, in my opinion, if they're in a division, I'm going to go with an underrated team. It's my dark horse. It's the dark horse of the division. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase will carry the team, and I think the defense will have to be at least decent for them to have a chance. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, obviously, but that's my dark horse of the NFL right now. They're uprising. I don't know, man.
Joe Burrow can't lead the team if he's already on the ground with a 300-pound player on him. He can't do anything.
That's why I think they just need to sign some old linemen, and I think Joe Mixon is also going to help in that. I think if they can get Joe Mixon like the screenplay, I think they can succeed. But I don't know. I think Cincinnati's my dark horse. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm going to go over an underrated team because if they weren't in that division, it'd be looked upon as a great team, in my opinion.
You make absolutely 0 sense. Zero.
Well, for the underdog mentality.
Whatever.
Moving on. Banana. What is it?
That was so unnecessary.
I'm gonna make a soundboard eventually, man. I'm gonna do it.
Okay then. Now we're talk about. Wow, this part went on for a while. We're at 27 minutes already. Anyways, we are going to be talking about Cam Akers tearing his Achilles. You want me to start, or you want to start?
I'll start. Cam Akers, second-year running back, plays for the LA Rams. I think if he played the season, he was going to be their number one guy. Tore his Achilles. I bet you that puts him out for the entire season, and so behind him will be Darrell Henderson Jr. will be taking most of the reps. Then that starting role. They did lose Malcolm Brown this offseason, so they will not have him. I think Darrell Henderson takes almost all the snaps, and obviously Cam Akers out. It's going to hurt the offense a bit, and I still see them making the playoffs most likely, but it'll hurt without Cam Akers. Overall, pretty solid running back. Obviously, unfortunate with the torn Achilles.
Akers tearing his Achilles. Last season, personally, I thought Akers was going to play most of the year. Akers did play at the later ends, but
they were the most confusing backfield that last season. They were mixing around everybody.
And then the first game I lose Malcolm. I think it was Malcolm. Malcolm. I really like
Malcolm Brown.
Malcolm. Then Darrell Henderson. I really like Darrell Henderson. I think he's a good back. I think when Akers didn't play, not because of injury last year, just because he just didn't play, I thought he was good, and I'm expecting the same performance this year, and I don't think it's going to be much of an issue for the Rams. I think, obviously, Akers would have been better, but I don't think it's going to be much of an issue, and it's going to affect them in a huge way.
If you're listening to this and you do play fantasy, Darrell Henderson is definitely a guy to watch out for. I would definitely target him in my drafts.
I would, too.
Try to get him late.
I would, too. Not if you're doing a keeper league. I wouldn't recommend that.
No, I would not. If you're in, like, a standard diamond.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about Cam Akers?
Nope.
Now, on to Chandler Jones. It's not trade destinations because if it's confirmed that he's asked for a trade, then maybe we'll do Chandler Jones top 3 trade destinations. But for now, since it's not confirmed, we're just going to be talking about what it's like for the Arizona Cardinals, if that's how much that's going to affect him, and Chandler Jones, if he should stay, if he should leave. Like, we'll talk about that. You want to go first, or you want me to go?
You can go.
I'll go first. Chandler Jones, great pass rusher. Personally, I really like Chandler Jones. I think he's a pretty good player. It's gonna affect them in a bit of a way, but now that you have J.J. Watt, will it? I think it could affect them. But Chandler Jones has said he.
I don't know. If I was Chandler Jones, I wouldn't really want to leave. Apparently, he's mad about the contract and the amount of money he's going to make this season. Kind of like Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah. He's supposedly he's unhappy with his contract and missed off-season work as a result of that. For Chandler Jones, I think he should stay because I really like that Cardinals team. There may be another reason why I want to leave, and that's because that division's just stacked. I mean, you have the Rams who are going to be good, the Seahawks are going to be good, and then you have the 49ers who are going to be good, so that division's really stacked.
Honestly, that's probably one of the toughest divisions in the NFL.
It is. In my opinion, it is. Challenge. I think he should stay. I think it's better for him. I think it's better for the team. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. If Chandler Jones stays, that's going to be a deadly duo for Arizona. So I think he should stay, and it wouldn't be great if he left.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's not really much else to say other than he wants out and he's not out of his contract. So that's all I'm going to say. Try to get this quick. Next up, what are we going to talk about? Which one?
Let's go with, we'll talk about Rodgers.
All right.
Now? Okay, let's talk about Rodgers now.
Yeah, we'll talk about Rodgers right now. I've been waiting to get this one. Aaron Rodgers declines a 2-year extension with the Green Bay Packers, which would have made him the highest paid NFL quarterback, pretty sure in history, right? Or is it just right now?
Probably would have been history based on money back in the day, so it's probably history.
That just shows you that Aaron Rodgers does want out, and in my opinion, I think he will sit out this season, and I don't think he'll play. I think he'll sit out of camp, sit out of the season, then come back and play for a different team. He obviously really wants out, and I think if he leaves Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, I think some of those players will probably want out as well. So I don't blame him. I think he's getting to that age where he knows his time is coming soon. And I feel bad for Packers fans because if you guys lose Aaron Rodgers, you guys are not going to make the Super Bowl for a little while. Kind of like the Patriots, but I think the Patriots have a better future than the Packers. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
But yeah. Decline 2-year extension.
Rodgers, obviously, he just said he declined a 2-year extension. Really would have made him the highest paid quarterback, and he declined it, and that just shows how much Aaron Rodgers wants out of this organization. He clearly wants out. And also, I know we're not going to talk about this, but Devontae Adams apparently also wants out, and that's not good for this organization. They have a great team right now, but if Adams leaves and Rodgers leaves, it's not a great match. And I don't know. I just don't know with Rodgers. He clearly wants out. Packers fans must be feeling it.
Yeah, I just saw that. Devontae Adams rumors wants out too.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. In Green Bay, honestly, I think there may be one way they both stay, and that is firing the GM. That's what Rodgers wants.
Yes.
And if it works, I think he could stay. Is it worth it? Do you get rid of Rodgers and suck? Or do you keep Rodgers
You're like
and fire your GM? It's an interesting topic.
I don't think, as long as Kansas City and Tom Brady are around, I don't think Green Bay will win a championship.
All right, yeah, I agree. I mean, they've been close for 2 years in a row now, but it's just not there right now. Yeah, no, there's nothing else to say. I think Rodgers declined it for a reason. He wants out. In our first ever episode of this, we're on episode 5 now. On our first ever episode, episode 1, we talked about Aaron Rodgers' trade destination, so go check that out. If you haven't already, go check that out. It's interesting. But yeah, there's nothing really else to say.
Moving on.
So not the best, but the next one's the best. So just stay tuned. Fred Warner resigns 5-year, $95 million extension. This guy's amazing. Linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. It's good that they extended him. It won't matter if the whole team gets injured again. But 5 years, $95 million for a guy like that, I think it's worth it. I think this guy's good. And now he becomes the highest paid linebacker in the NFL. He deserves it. He's a top linebacker. And I think locking him up for another 5 years is going to be huge for the team and huge for that defense.
I don't agree because before this season, I didn't hear of him that much. I didn't really hear that, this guy's going to be like the next, like the future of San Fran. Obviously, they did fine. $25 million a year for 5 years, 95 overall. Honestly, in my opinion, to be the highest paid middle linebacker in the league right now, I think that's too much. I think he was overpaid by a bit. Obviously, great player in San Fran. I just don't really see. I don't really think you really needed to pay him that much. I don't think he's like. I think he's amazing. He's really good. I'll say he's really good. I don't think he's amazing though. I don't think he really is that kind of money. I don't think he really deserves that money. But I'll say he's good. I just think that was overpaid. That was overshot.
It may be a bit overpaid, but it's still really good for the team that they locked him up for another 5 years. But probably my favorite part of this episode, probably your favorite part of this episode, probably to the people watching, your favorite part of this episode.
Deshaun Watson returning to camp.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I knew you were going to say top 10 running backs.
I forgot about that.
I'll talk about that real quick. That shouldn't even be that much of a discussion. But obviously, if you haven't heard, Deshaun Watson was accused of a sexual assault to 2 women.
More, like 20-something now.
4?
20.
Now 4?
20-something. Jeez. I know, it's 4. It's crazy.
24. Okay, whatever.
Rumors
that he is one step closer to coming to camp. He intends to come back to the NFL and play for Houston.
Right now with everything that's going on, I think he just wants to play football. Yeah, no, I think he wants back, and I don't think he'd be frustrated now if it's with the Texans. But yeah, no, I think it's, if he comes back, it's good for the team. We'll see if it actually happens. When training camp starts, we'll see on Tuesday, I believe it happens. So we'll see if he I can't talk. If he plays. But now on to your favorite part, and the people watching, your favorite part. Top 10 running backs, unless Cody is about to interrupt me with another topic.
No, that's it.
There we go. Last time we did this, I believe I started, or was it you?
I think it was me, so you start.
I'm pretty sure it was me.
Well, you think it was you? So you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
Top 10 running backs for the NFL. this number 10 was a tough one for me. It was a battle between two running backs, and I'm going to say the two running backs, and then you're going to guess who I put out my top 10. For the battle, it was Ezekiel Elliott and Josh Jacobs. Who do you think I picked?
Me? You're asking me?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, I don't know, I feel like you're that type of person to be a Zeke hater. I'm going to go you picked with Josh Jacobs. You want Josh Jacobs.
And you are wrong. I picked Ezekiel Elliott at number 10 because I think if Zeke did have Dak Prescott, Zeke would have been like 10 times better than what he did. Obviously, they were kind of leaning on him for the entire season, but I think he'll bounce back and he'll be a really good running back. He is very talented. I just think he had a bad season. Like all players, they'll have a bad season, and I think that was Zeke's bad season, but I think he'll battle back and have a great season. Ezekiel Elliott at my number 10.
I'll do the same for you. I have two options for my top 10 or my number 10. It is either Austin Eckler or Jonathan Taylor. Who is it? Who do you think it is?
Austin Eckler.
Why do you think it's Austin Eckler?
Because he is better than Jonathan Taylor.
And your statement, in my opinion, at least, it would be correct. I have Austin Eckler at my number 10 spot. This guy gets so heavily underrated. This guy's great at running the ball. And he's a good catcher. He has the most receiving touchdowns. And he has more receiving touchdowns than guys like Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. Those are big names. Obviously, McCaffrey didn't play this year, but Kamara, that's a big name, and this guy doesn't get talked about. So this is my number 10 spot. I think he's underrated. Could be in my number 9, but for now I'm putting him in my number 10. If he has another really good season, then I would probably move him up.
I agree. Eckler is a very underrated player. I do agree.
My number 9. Everyone hates on this guy. Everyone doesn't like him. I think he's definitely got worse than last year, but it's Ezekiel Elliott. I don't think you can leave this guy out of your top 10 right now. If he has another bad season like that, yes, I'd consider leaving him out my top 10. But if he has a decent season, unlike last year, then I think he's still at top 10. In my opinion, everyone hates on him too much. Just like I said, I was talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers earlier. So yeah, this is my number 9 spot for running backs. And who is your number 9?
My number 9, I think, will come to a shock to many people, and probably you. I just think he is really good. I just don't think he'll be as good this season because of one thing. It is Aaron Jones, and I don't think he'll be as good only because without Rodgers, and I just think I don't think he'll be as successful without Rodgers. I still think he's a really good running back. I just don't see him being as good as he was. I'm definitely top 10. I'll put him at number 9. Aaron Jones for the Green Bay Packers.
I do agree. He has to be in your top 10, but I think 9 is a bit too low for me. He is in my top 10. But who is your number 8?
My number 8. You mentioned him. It is the underrated Mr. Underrated Austin Eckler. I absolutely love this guy. I think he is a stud. He will be the workhorse for LA. Very great player, very underrated. Definitely carries that backfield, and I think he's very underrated. Definitely has to have my top 10. Very talented guy. I gotta give him credit.
I'm really happy to put Austin Eckler in your top 10. He's your number 8. He's my number 10. But my number 8 is I think this guy is also underrated. He goes by the name of Chris Carson. This guy is really good. He is hard to tackle. He breaks a ton of tackles. And I think this guy is in my top 10, my number 8. I think he's gonna have a really good season in Seattle this year. Even though there's Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf to throw to, I think when they run the ball, it's going to be really effective. Chris Carson, in my opinion, has to be in your top 10. I'm slotting him at number 8. I don't think you could put him higher, but not like 1 to 6 range. You can't put him there. But I wouldn't be mad if you put him from 7 to 9.
Yep, Chris Carson, very solid dude. I did like him for fantasy. Ended up trading him away, but definitely a really good running back. Who is your number 7?
My number 7. I think this guy is. I know this may come out as a shock. Overrated, and he goes by the name of Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is my number 7 spot because I think he has to show a bit more to go up, and I think in the future he will go up that list and be a number 7 or like be top 5. But right now I just don't think he is. I would recommend picking him up in fantasy, but right now I can't put him in my top 5. I just need to see more from him. Obviously, he was injured all of last year, but the year before, I think he needed to be a bit better to put him in my top 5. So that's why he is my number 7.
I agree there. I think he needs to show more. I definitely agree. But my number 7, mentioned him before, Chris Carson. Chris Carson, in my opinion, really like the dude. Very solid running back. Seattle needs him because without him, they can't run the ball, and Carson is their main guy. He's definitely their workhorse, and I think without Chris Carson, this team wouldn't be as good as they are. Definitely the 15-plus carries a game kind of guy, and I would definitely recommend him trying to pick him up in fantasy. Great running back, and I obviously have him at top 10, and I'll put him at my number 7.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he has to be in the 7 and 9 range, and you put him 7, I put him 8. But now, who's your number 6?
My number 6 is Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, for me, also needs to show more. He had a great rookie season last year, obviously. Torn ACL. Hurt him really bad, but I just don't see him. I don't see him. I think he needs to show more. I think if he shows more, I think he'll be in my top 5. I'll put him at number 6. I think he is definitely a top 5. So number 6, good spot to put him.
Yeah, no, Saquon Barkley. I can't put him in my top 5, but I respect your decision to put him at number 6. But my number 6, you talked about this guy a bit earlier. I think you underrated him, and that's Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones hasn't showed a bad season yet, and I don't think he will. I really like this player. I do think he's overpaid, but I really do like Aaron Jones. Good runner, good pass catcher, and
You want to have a bet? Do you want to place our first bet of the show?
Bet? What do you mean bet? Not putting money on the line?
No, not money. Just it's called a water bet.
Okay.
It's a bet. Okay, ready? Bet. Aaron Jones is not a top 7 running back.
A top 10?
No, top 7.
Top 7 next year?
Where are you put him right now? You have I'm at number 6?
Number 6.
I bet he will not go. I bet he won't be top 8.
I think you'll still be top 8.
All right, let's place that bet.
By the way, no money's on the line for people watching this. We do not enforce betting in any way, shape, or form. But this is just a little friendly bet. No money involved, just for the sake of, I don't know, the sake of, what do you call it? The sake of, you can what's the word? You can brag about it. You can brag about winning it.
Bragging rights.
That's what we're doing it for. So yeah, my number 6, Aaron Jones. He hasn't shown anything bad. I would like this guy. You put him at number 9, which I thought was a bit odd. He has to be 8 from number 4 to 7, in my opinion. Maybe even 7's a bit much. Maybe 6. 4 to 6. He's at my number 6. And now for my number 5, right?
Yeah.
My number 5. This guy, I think, will do a bit worse this year because of the quarterback situation. That is Alvin Kamara. He's my number 5. I really like him. Running the ball, catching the ball. I like this player. The only thing that worries me about him is his quarterback and Jameis Winston. I don't think they can connect well. But this guy catches the ball a ton, obviously, with Sanders gone, right? He went to Buffalo. Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders.
Yes.
He went to Buffalo. Michael Thomas having an ankle injury. Being out for the start of the season. Don't know when he's going to come back. We're not talking about that now because it's not a major injury, and he'll be back. He'll miss like a game or two, but I think he'll be back after that. But Alvin Kamara, I really like him as a player. I think he will be a bit worse this year. But I think he's still in my top 5.
Right. This might come as a shock. I know some people will not put this guy in their top 5. I don't even think they put him in top 10, but Joe Mixon.
What? That's a shock. That's a shock.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. My actual number 5 is the same guy as you, Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, I think, will have a absolutely phenomenal season. Unlike you said, he might progress. I think he'll move forward with his progress, only because they're gonna rely heavily on the running game without Breeze now. Jameis Winston, they know throws a lot of interceptions, and Taysom Hill is more of a run-first guy. And I think with him baiting the defense to the run, I think Kamara will pick up the passes. I think he'll run a lot. I think he'll have more touches, and if he can stay healthy, I think he'll progress. And I think he's definitely a top 5 running back, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jameis Winston won't help him. It's probably going to be Jameis Winston, but there's still a chance it's Taysom Hill, and I hope it's not Taysom Hill. The only reason there's a chance it's Taysom Hill is because when Breeze was injured, it was Taysom Hill and not Jameis Winston, so it's going to be interesting to see what Sean Payton does. But who is your number 4?
My number 4, I think he's very underrated. Definitely a great running back, very solid dude. I'm going to go Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns gets a heavy workload, and he's not very involved in the passing game, which kind of makes him a downfall. But if he was, I think I think I'd stick him at number 4 again. But Nick Chubb, an amazing running back, and is a very solid dude. Hard to tackle him. He's a pretty big guy. But Nick Chubb at number 4, I think it suits him right.
For number 5, we agreed. Number 5, we did agree. And number 5, we agreed for Kamara. And we're also going to agree for number 4, Nick Chubb. This guy was in my fantasy team last year. I had the last pick in my draft, and I got Nick Chubb. I really like Nick Chubb. Good rusher. Won't get the catches because that's Kareem Hunt's job. But this man is hard to tackle. Will get in that end zone if he's 5 yards away. Will power through, get in that end zone. This guy's underrated in my opinion, and I would recommend picking him up in fantasy for those touchdowns and for those yards. And I think don't expect him to catch the ball much because that's Kareem Hunt's job, but I really like Nick Chubb.
Yes, I agree. Very solid dude. Now what's your number 3?
My number 3, most people have this guy at number 2. I think he's a bit overrated, and it may come as a shock. That's Dalvin Cook. I think this guy, he's really good, though. He's really good. He's elusive.
You called Dalvin Cook overrated?
I called him slightly overrated. He's not overrated.
Oh, my God.
No, he's not like overly. No. Listen. He's not overly overrated. Like, oh, this guy is not top 5. Like, yes, he's top 5, but he's my number 3. Most people put him at number 2.
I wouldn't put him at number 2. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? No? Okay, so maybe we agree for number 3 again. But Dalvin Cook, this guy's really good. I just think people say he's that number 2 running back in the league. I think he's that number 3. I think he's slightly overrated, but I still think he's a really good player. And I think Dalvin Cook's going to touch the ball a ton this year. Even with Jefferson and Thielen, I think he's still going to touch the ball a ton. I like Dalvin Cook, and he's my number 3, but he can't be my number 2.
All right. I agree. My number 3 is also Dalvin Cook. Again, right to the chase. I agree with everything you say, and I honestly think he's going to be the most used player on that team because there's no one else in that backfield that can really touch him. And they have Alexander Madison that's right behind him. Unless Dalvin Cook gets hurt, I don't see anybody else even really touching the ball. But Dalvin Cook will mainly take all the target share in the running game. He also gets passed to by Kirk Cousins, and I like him because he's utilized everywhere, and he has that much talent that he can do almost anything. He is one of the best running backs in the NFL right now, in my opinion.
I agree. I just see most people putting him at number 2. That's why I said he's slightly overrated. But speaking of number 2, who is your number 2?
My number 2, I think you can go either way with this guy, and that is Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey plays for Carolina. Very great player. Very great running back, in my opinion. Very talented. He's very agile. He gets around the defense really quick. He's big frame. I don't think he's much more of a finesse running back than more of a power running back. You can compare to Nick Chubb and Dalvin Cook. He's a different kind of running back, but the way he does it is he's tremendously fast, and he's one of the best running backs. I could argue him at number 1, but I'm going to put him at number 2, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, it's between McCaffrey and Henry, in my opinion. But I'm going to agree with you. Again, we've agreed since pick number 5 to 2, probably 1 now. Christian McCaffrey. This guy, he was injured pretty much all season. I think this guy, I've seen people put him number 5. I think this guy's underrated. I think you could put a debate for number 1. But McCaffrey, probably the best pass catcher in the league, in my opinion, even though Eckler's stats say it's better. McCaffrey didn't play this year, and in general, I think McCaffrey's a better pass catcher. Can break your ankles and can run the ball well. He's a. You said he's not a power back, but if he wanted to, I think he could be.
I
think he could be if he wanted to, but that's not his type. But yeah, he's my number 2. Can catch the ball, can run the ball in the end zone. I really think this guy's great. But once again, we agreed for centers, we agreed for quarterbacks, and now we've agreed for running backs.
And your number 1, obviously, is it Derrick Henry?
You put Derrick Henry?
Don't even. Okay. Derrick Henry.
No, it's LaShawn McCoy.
LaShawn McCoy.
I'm joking. It's Derrick Henry. We've agreed for all of these. You talk about him first, and then I'll talk about him.
Derrick Henry is the biggest tank I've ever seen from a running back other than Bo Jackson. Derrick Henry is a massive dude. They consider him a cyborg because he's almost unstoppable. If you search up Derrick Henry highlights on YouTube, it's some pretty sick highlights. He stiff arms people in the face. He sends people flying, and he is the best running back in the NFL right now because he is used the most as a running back, in my opinion. Catches the ball, not as much as McCaffrey or Cook or Kamara, but he is the best running back. He is a tank. It's hard to tackle him. Probably one of the hardest guys to tackle in the NFL. And I'll give him my number 1 spot and let you take it away.
I agree. Number 1. I've seen people put him number 5. I'm sorry, this guy just has done really good running the ball. Won't get many passes this year because Julio Jones is now on the team. But this guy is my number 1. This guy has shown it year in, year out. This guy's crazy. Stiff arm you. Almost impossible to tackle. I think we both agree. Number 1. you have anything else to say? Or?
Nope.
Thank you everyone so much for watching.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Okay, I messed up the intro.
You want me to do the outro? Yeah, I'll do the outro since you do the intro. That'll do it for episode 5. Thank you for tuning in. If you did stay to the end of the episode, I want you to type Derrick Henry, number 1. Yeah.
Also, go
thank
like
you
the
for
video.
tuning in.
Like the video. Subscribe if you're new and you haven't already. Episode number 5. Episode number 6 will be coming Wednesdays. We post football content every Sunday and hockey every Wednesday. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, subscribe if you're new. Like so this can spread out to more people. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. See you guys Wednesday. Oh, my mouse is not working. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed and see you guys for the next hockey one.